Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. We are here for the 253rd episode of the Talk That Talk Show, and I'm thankful once again to bless the mic here with y'all and just spend a little bit of time with you on a Friday night. One of the most things that I really enjoy is just reflecting upon the things that have happened throughout the week for myself, and just kind of like letting this be like my living diary in a way of things that happen, and pretty much all the different things that I see fit and see that have been monumentous in my life. And I think that sharing experiences with the people that matter the most to you is what really life is all about. And my audience here at the Talk That Talk Show, you guys mean the world to me, and you've been there since episode 1. It's been a long 250 plus episodes, but every episode to me, I just feel like I can't be myself if I'm not giving 110% to give you all this Talk That Talk Show. And in the past couple weeks, my schedule has been absolutely loaded with different things that have been in my life. And I just checked on the work calendar, and I had already clocked 77 hours in the last 2 weeks, with one more day left on Sunday. But I think the main thing that has been instilled in me pretty much since birth, whether my mom or my father, was the fact that you have to work twice as hard than the person next to you, because you never know who's behind you working while you're out there sleeping and relaxing. So I just feel like that blue collar work ethic that was instilled in me, I just try to let that fulfill throughout my life. And I feel like in instances where I've really highlighted and really put forth the effort and working hard, I've really reaped the benefits. I mean, there was times in my life, especially in college, that I didn't think I was going to finish. And finishing college is one of the things that has meant the most to me. So I feel like through hard work and getting a college degree, for those that do have it, it's very difficult. There's times where you have to put those time management, those priority in check. And I feel like the things that I learned in college, not necessarily through a textbook, I feel like over these last couple weeks or so, I've really gotten the chance to excel and to utilize. And I think that I can't go any further with this episode without talking about somebody that also means the world to me, and something that happened over these last couple weeks since we've talked last. But we had Father's Day that happened, and I feel like whether you're in the media, or whether it's various other friends, or other friends' experiences, have everybody has a different perspective on their father. And I think for me, my father means everything. He's the person that gave me the confidence. When you see my pops, I might be like, damn, he's just saying some corny stuff at times. But, the thing is, that's what dads are supposed to do. My father, he's always never been afraid to be himself. He's never afraid to do the things that he wants to do. And I think that, those things and those principles are things that I take and carry with me in all walks and facets of my life. I feel like the one thing that my father, especially when he was working at the water company, he always talked about advocating for himself. And for me, especially in other walks and other jobs, you feel as though at times people can sometimes feel like they aren't heard, or they're not getting those desired outcomes, or they feel like they're being shafted in certain jobs. And I think that that willingness, or that ability to speak up for yourself, and try and dictate the things that are going to happen, you know for me it comes natural, because like I said, I've got it from my pops. But as I've been working over the past couple months, whether it be at the school or whether it be at the dispensary, I've really realized that that ability to advocate for yourself is something that not a lot of people do. And I think that it's very important. And that's something that I've kind of really embodied is just advocating for yourself, speaking up. If you feel like something isn't going right, or you feel like you're not really getting the results that you're looking for, or you feel like you're kind of being short-ended, I feel like it's very important that you speak up for yourself, and try and advocate for yourself, and pretty much give some respect to the things that you've put forth. And I've seen, at my job, a couple people were unhappy about certain things. And one of the things I said was, well, did you talk to the manager? Did you talk? And a lot of times the answer is no. And I feel like, at times you can't be upset for certain things that you are not expressing that you're upset about. I had a concern with my schedule at the job, where I was pretty much at the school and going part-time from there to the dispensary. But after having a conversation with my girlfriend, conversation with my manager, I decided to put forth more time into the dispensary. And in doing so, you know putting forth that effort and that work, for me, has paid off dividends. And my father was somebody that, again, relaying this back to Father's Day, my father was someone that didn't really take many days off. And when it was his time to put in that effort and put in that work, I always knew, like, around like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, he'd be coming home from work. And most times he'd be shuffling me to get me to baseball games, or whether I was playing basketball and things like that. My father was super supportive of that. And again, putting forth that hard work and that effort, and it's just everything to me. You know what I'm saying? And whether it was sports growing up, or now applying that work ethic into jobs and advocating for myself on a daily basis, it's really, really important to take those things that your parents have instilled in you, and just use them to elevate yourself, man. I feel like had I not listened to my father, had I not looked up to my father for certain things like that, I might not be in the position that I'm at now. And most importantly, I just appreciate my father for being there for me. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of people out there that can say that their father was there. And I just appreciate him for being there for me. I know that if I call him at any time, he'll be able to answer the phone. And that's something that I really do appreciate, and I love. And I just it means the world to me, man. So my pops is somebody that like I said, has made me who I am. And whether we're talking about that hard work ethic that again, I try to carry with me, or that ability to advocate for ourselves, we're big personalities. I think that my dad really, he just really instilled in me to just be confident in who you are. People joke all the time about me not having no socks on with my sandals, and I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I just want to do what I want to do. And my father, on Father's Day, he just said, "Yo, I'm gonna go down to Virginia. I'm gonna drive down there." And he's put forth the effort, and he's put forth the work all those years. So for him to do the things that he wants to do and enjoy his time, that's just an extension of myself too, man. And I feel like in working hard these 77 hours over the past 2 weeks, you better be damn sure I'm going to the beach tomorrow. I like going to Atlantic City. I like going. We're going to Vegas next month. I think that in life, if you work hard and when you work hard, you have to make time to enjoy yourself. When my father's healthy and when his knees not hurting him, he's out there golfing. And I think that he says he looks up to me when it comes to enjoying himself. But where did I get it from? When I look at my pops, and nobody can ever say he didn't work hard. And that's something that I take with me every day, man. So I really do love my pops. I want to say happy Father's Day to him. But like I said, we wanted to talk about things that have happened over these past couple weeks. And like I said, I've gotten that work ethic from my pops, and through putting forth that effort and more time into dispensary, me and my manager, my buddy Isaiah, we got highlighted to go onto a cruise through Select. And Select is a brand, cannabis brand in New Jersey. They also are in New York too, but they invited us on this Pride ship cruise where they highlighted a bunch of different new products. We got to see a drag show. It was my first ever drag show. It was an experience. You know what I'm saying? But how else do you celebrate Pride, right? I think if you're uncomfortable, then you gotta be comfortable with yourself, right? And I know what I'm coming home to at the end of the night, so it was a little different entertainment, but when in Rome, you must do as the Romans do, right? So we were on the ship, having a couple drinks, which is dope, and really it was just awesome because at one point, me and Isaiah and Liliana, we were sitting on the ship, and I just looked up and you just see the New York skyline as we're just cruising by, and it was just like, for us, it was that epiphany moment where you're just enjoying the fruits of your labor. You know what I'm saying? There was only, I think, like 25 invited people out of the entire couple states that were guests from Select, and we were one of those people on the cruise. And whether I was shooting content with Raj, or whether I was talking to different networking with different owners of dispensaries, I think that the experience in itself was something big for me and something big for our brand in Cloud9, because we got to show people that even as the little dispensary that we are, we still pack a punch, man. And I think the dopest thing about that is that in talking to different dispensaries, we got to talk to them and see where their benchmarks are. And when you look at it and you see what we're doing, it's just like we're knocking these numbers out the water. And I'd be a fool, or I'd be ignorant to say that we as the ground, basically those ground workers, bud tenders, me, Rob, Isaiah, Liliana, Chloe, Kyle, Chris, Anthony, Matt, all the homies over at Cloud9 Dispensary, we've been all putting the work in together to basically make this whole ship happen, man. And I think that for them to continuously highlight me, my boy Ernesto, who's making the crazy banners, big shout out to my boy Dejan. But those types of things are the things that I look forward to, and that I've been able to be a part of just by being myself. Like my dad instilled in me. If I wasn't myself, or I wasn't, having the confidence to put forth and market myself and market my brand to where now I'm one of the top sales in the whole state of New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of dispensaries, like Selly said on Facebook, a lot of dispensaries are opening up. But again, when you're in a saturated market and you have so many people that are trying to do the same thing, what separates you, right? And I think with us over at Cloud9, what we've been able to do is, we pretty much have been able to sell experiences. And that's why each episode of the Talk That Talk show is a different experience, because you're getting 100% uncut Barry, and I think that same authenticity bleeds into the things that I market and that I stand by. And to say that when we took over the social media campaign, it was nothing, and now we're making views that are hitting over 1,000, and getting the reviews up to where at 4.9. The work that we're putting in is definitely being reflective, and I just feel like to be highlighted on that ship and get access to new samples that nobody else got a chance to basically experience this boat ride, and meet so many different people, network with so many big names in the cannabis industry. It kind of just was a reflective moment for me and Isaiah, and Liliana that, hey, we're kind of big in the cannabis industry too. And for us to pack the punch that we have, it just stands with the team that we have. And I think that a big thing that kind of helps to keep that cohesion together with us is we all share the same motivation, the same desire to go up. And I feel like in other jobs that I've had, you're pretty much capped out on what you can do. And I don't feel that way. And I feel like the opportunities are endless. We're constantly expanding. And, that motivation that we have and the motivation that we push within each other, it works. And I think something that really goes understated is just the cohesion or just that team chemistry that goes into that and building those numbers, right? And I think that winning has something that I've winning is something that I've been doing, it seems like, over this last year, whether it's winning that Majestic League with my family, winning the state tournament. And I think that again all attributes to the team cohesion that we put forth. I think that in bowling, right, I really took a step forward and tried to do something different. We had to get ourselves uncomfortable to get comfortable. I mean, you had to get uncomfortable again, right? And what I did was I wanted to challenge myself and do something different that I don't normally do. And for me, that's been bowling on Sports Shot. I've been in a Sports Shot League, and then also, besides the Sports Shot League, I've been bowling over at Jersey Lanes. And that Jersey Lanes competition is no joke. I mean, I literally got to watch Day Day firsthand bowling for what, $1,000. That type of competition is something that you can't emulate that, or you can't simulate that anywhere. So for me, continuously trying to build and get myself uncomfortable is really what's helped to get me back and keep me fresh in the summertime. Because I tell you what, Sally was over at Linden Lanes on Wednesday night. I tried to sub for Dustin, and that was probably the worst I ever bowled in my life, man. It was awful. It seemed like nothing. I couldn't get any breaks. Nothing seemed to be going my way. And, I was trying my best to stay motivated, but I was super frustrated. But I think that the thing that kind of taught to me was that even though you're having all these successes and, you're having all these good things happen, you have to be ready for things not to happen your way. And I think the ability to stay humble and stay on your toes, will definitely help you to keep going in the right direction more often than not. And it was just tough, struggling as bad as I did, but I just knew that and actually I gotta give a shout out to my girlfriend, because she told me you can't let that bring your whole attitude down. And I feel like when we have certain things that don't go our way, it has a way of bogging us down, weighting us, and it's just a tough feeling, and it's tough to kind of drag your feet through that mud. But you have to do it, and you have to get back up. And for me, getting back up maybe wasn't transitioning well on the lanes, but just and getting up today to get this show completed, right? My girl also talked about highlighting the little wins and making the little changes to get in the direction that you want to go. And for me, a big step this since I talked to you guys last was that I had my last doctor's meeting. All right, and in this doctor's meeting, I've been going sporadically over the last 16 months through rehabbing, right? Whether it be neck injections, whether it be chiropractic therapy, whether it was what's acupuncture. There was so many different things that we had to go through since that accident back in February 2023 when I was hit by a drunk driver. But I didn't let that stop me or deter me from keeping it moving. And when I got to the doctor's office and they said that I was finally cleared to resume all activities, it was one of the happiest feelings to me because, prior to us getting hit in February, prior to me getting hit in February, I was probably on my way to being in the best shape that I had been in my 30s. And to be hit and kind of like shake you and jolt you off that path, and then now you're limited in the things that you can do, it's definitely depressing. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say I was depressed at one point, but, it's just what are you going to do with those feelings? And I feel like most times people let those feelings consume you, but, for me, I just tried to let it motivate me. And I might not have been able to lift weights, but I just kept going to the gym doing cardio. So, this week when I was finally able to lift the weights, it was like a exhilarating feeling for me. It was almost like a weight was lifted off my shoulder, right? But it was an enjoyable feeling because even though I was sore, still am kind of sore from, getting back in it. Those are the types of things that you have to do. You can't let the things in life stop you from doing the things you want to do in life. And, for me to get back up there, I didn't want to go super crazy. I did light weights, did some, I think I did like 4 sets of some different activities, you know what I'm saying? Doing 4 different exercises. So, normally I would go a lot longer in my workouts, but, this time right here, starting out for these first week, I wanted to go light and ease myself into it. And to say that at the end of this week here, I'm at 4 out of 5 days where we went to the gym. I know that change doesn't happen overnight, but to be able to set the building blocks to hopefully the consistency that I want in my life to get, that physical fitness back and to get that mental confidence back that, I talked about a lot more earlier in the show. It's all a culmination of just putting forth the work and the effort, man. And, today, like I said, we still got a chance to go to the gym after work. And the key phrase that, we've been talking over the last couple weeks is that, we just make time for the things that we really want in life. And, I think that, in being hurt and not being medically cleared, it's definitely a convenient excuse to not get the work done that I needed to do. But now that the excuse is gone, what are you going to do about it? And for me, now that motivation, that fire, it's lit. And, I just want to make sure I keep that flame lighted, man. And that's what I've really just been enjoying over this last week or so. And, I just thank you guys for, ever being patient with me, just letting me be myself, being confident in the things that I'm doing. And I just thank everyone that supports me, whether it be my girlfriend, my pops, my mom, who's always asking me questions, always giving me different highlighted articles. My brother, my sister, TK, Jeff, Ish, the whole gang. Big happy birthday to my boy Reese. I just feel like I got a great support system, man. And, whether it be at work or whether I'm off the clock with my friends or my family, I just feel like I'm living a very rich life, man. I think that the word rich, often pertains to money, but, I feel like when you can go to bed at night and you don't have to sleep alone and, you can, relax. I think relaxing, sometimes people don't realize it, but that relaxation is a luxury, man. So to be able to, go to bed at night, not alone, relaxed, with a sound mind, peace, it's something that I look forward to after a long day of working. And I think that I wanted everyone else out there to know that even though it's been like a week or two since the last episode, I don't want y'all to think that we're not out here working. I think that the big key is just sacrifice. And, sacrifices sometimes aren't easy. They're not supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I think that sacrifices oftentimes are really what are necessary to get those attainable goals that you're looking for. And for me, Whether it was being dead tired to where, maybe I might not do anything but just go to sleep after this episode. I didn't want nothing else to go on without this episode being recorded, because at the end of the day, this is a priority. This is my brand. This is who I am. I'm not marketing something else. Even though Cloud9 is, they've been very good to me. Cloud9 Dispensary is not my brand. I market them. Talk That Talk Show is my brand. This is me. I built this from the ground up. I remember when we had just blankets as backgrounds. The quality on the video was trash. It's you have to be able to appreciate where you came from, and for me to be able to be down there, coming from blanketed backgrounds to vending at shows and selling out multiple times. People in the bowling alley consistently asking me for Talk That Talk Show jerseys. That type of effect, that type of support is authentic, and that's what keeps me, where I'm at. It keeps me grounded. So, like I said, we're still working. We're hitting the boots. They're hitting the boots to the ground running. That's what we do here at Talk That Talk Show. And Selly's he was on the episode a couple episodes before here. He's one of the big loyal fans, and like I said, someone we look up into the bowling game. But to have those people like him that are tuned in and talking to me in the alleys, that's the shit that I love. I mean, shit. When you're going into places and people are thanking you and saying, "Yo, congratulations, state champ," that's something that I really look forward to, man, and that keeps me motivated. Especially when you don't even have to say it, and people already know what you've done. That's the type of effect that I'm trying to have, and I think it's positive. I think that I definitely do love playing the villain. We all know that. I think it all started from when I was back in high school, and I think it was a freshman in high school, and we were playing against East Brunswick, and they had the whole band there, and they were just chanting Urkel because I had glasses and braces, I guess, at the time, and I just proceeded to just give them buckets. I think having those experiences where people try to bring you down, you remember how you felt at that time, and I remember that I just wanted to make every bucket, and I think that motivation is what keeps me, that fire in me. Selly knows if I get a strike and I start punching it out on you, you better bring it. And I think that for me, again, the confidence is huge, but again, you don't get that confidence without putting in the work. So, for me to, be where I'm at and continue to rock out and do this show, I need to be 100% mentally and physically. And it's no coincidence that the show is recorded right after we hit the gym, because this podcast this is my mental health. You know what I'm saying? Me getting everything out in my mind and my heart. This is my mental health. Going to the gym, that's working on my physical health. So when you can have both of those things synonymous together, running that same path, like I said, I just feel rich. I feel rich to have someone that cares about me and wants to share something with me. That's what it's all about. I have great friends, great family, and some great sports to watch. I mean, the Mets have been on fire, man. Who could be mad about that? I mean, it was so bad I wasn't even talking about the Mets, and now you got me thinking about trying to go to a Mets game. So, I think I definitely got to give a big time shout out to the Mets. Like Jeff said, they're starting to finally figure something out. So, whatever you're doing in New York, big shout out to the Mets. I definitely got to get to a Mets game. Definitely got to set up the next Talk That Talk Show Mets outing. But yeah, man, it's gonna be big, yo. My boy Selly said, "Welcome back from the accident too." By the way, didn't want to bring it up, but you're here for a reason. Hell yeah, man, I appreciate it, bro. Like I said earlier in the show, that was a life-changing experience for me. You don't just get 5 herniated discs in your neck and your back. and just have life just go on. The rehab and everything that's taken to get to this point. It's been a road, man. There's been so many times where I didn't say shit during the season, this past bowling season, but I was in general pain. I would tell Doc, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'd be laying on the bed, back out, and she'd be doing the Theragun on me, or it was bad, man, sometimes. But again, I said something to my teammates, and I said, enjoy the grind. When we'd be missing 10 pins at times, when it looked like teams were killing us in handicap, I just told them, enjoy the grind, enjoy it. Because if you can get through these tough times, the end goal or that end result is going to be worth it. I know for me, getting through those 4 out of 5 days, hitting the gym with no restrictions, that showed me that, hey, I can still do this. You know what I'm saying? I have a great a trajectory of going up, and my body showed me that it's still strong, but I still gotta get my full strength back out. And I think that in times in the past, where coming back from an injury or trying to get back in the gym, we're trying to get everything and squeeze all the time that you've missed into this little bit of time, and you can't do that. I think that as we get older, we start to see things a lot differently. And for me, my return back into the gym looks a lot different than I've done in multiple other times. And this way that I am at now, I feel like it's going to be a lot more sustainable for me not to get re-injured, and then also to get the results that I'm looking for. So that my boy Selly says that I'll not rush, it takes time. And I'm here to be patient, man. At times in the past, I was lifting 4 to 5 days a week. I only lifted 2 this week. I think that taking those little steps, those little incremental steps in the right direction will help to get sustainable success. I think that sometimes people get this instant gratification, and then they don't understand why it leaves. It's because sometimes if you get those things instantaneously, they can leave just as quickly, right? So I'm here for the long grind, man. I'm here to get myself back. I got my girlfriend going to the gym with me to support with me. And I think that's, half the battle too. When you have someone that is supporting the vision with you and going along this journey with you, it makes those steps a lot less harder to step together with. And, she goes and does her own thing at the gym. I go and do my own thing at the gym. But, just the fact that we know and are holding each other accountable, that's what it's all about. So, again, I thank her. I'm just thankful to be here, like Selly said, and sometimes I take that for granted too, man. Shit could have went a lot differently. I could have easily not been here, and I just am thankful that I am here. I feel like I got a lot of good things to do. I have a lot to accomplish, and I'm here for it. So. Everybody out there, thank you so much for rocking with me. I definitely had one question that was asked to me that I said that I was going to answer on this show beforehand. But people, and this was actually from multiple people asking me, they have asked me, what is my honest opinion of Caitlin Clark? And I'm going to try my best to be as direct and concrete with this. And I'm just going to say the exact facts. Coming out of college, Caitlin Clark is arguably the best college basketball player, men's or women's, to have ever played. When you look at the numbers. When you look at the effect of what Caitlin Clark has done from coming from college to the WNBA, I cannot remember any bigger of effect from an athlete other than LeBron James when I was in, I think, either middle school or high school. I remember someone was saying, yeah, this guy LeBron James is getting his high school game televised. I'm like, why are they televising a high school game? I'm in high school, right? Like, it was the most craziest thing to me. I think we were actually in middle school. It might have been, but I remember them saying that they were televising this game, and I'm like, I gotta watch this guy. And literally, we watched LeBron from high school transcend into the NBA and transcend into this legendary figure, right? And I feel like nobody's had such criticism than LeBron James, especially when he made that decision to go to Miami. So, when I look at Caitlin Clark, I'm looking at a generational talent, right? Who is worth the price of admission. I've seen Caitlin Clark do some great things, whether it be dishing the ball when they tried to blitz her on ball screens, or her accurate three-point shooting. She is definitely a bona fide excellent player. However, what I will say is this. The common misconception is that Caitlin Clark made the WNBA. And I'm here to say that is bullshit. If you haven't watched the domination of the Las Vegas Aces over the last couple years, if you haven't watched Alyssa Thomas making almost triple doubles every other game, if you haven't watched the physicality and the actual duration and endurance from a person in Diana Taurasi to span multiple decades, it's a disservice to all the people that have played in the WNBA before. The Houston Comets, that aren't even a team anymore, but was one of the most dominant franchises to bring up the WNBA. There has been excitement around the WNBA. Sabrina Ionescu has done the same numbers, if not better, in her rookie season than Caitlin Clark. But I saw some crazy stat line where there was Caitlin Clark is the first to have 100 assists, something rebounds, and this amount of blocks. And it's we are not looking for these things. I bet you if you pulled up Kennedy Carter, the girl that she had issues with, or you pull up an Angel Reese or Cameron Brink, you can say that Cameron Brink was the first WNBA player to do something blocking wise or whatever. I feel like the media has done its job to push forth the this whole persona of Caitlin Clark, the whole mystique of Caitlin Clark. However, to say that Caitlin Clark has made the WNBA, I think that people are doing everyone else out there a huge disservice. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough because, even on her own team, Aaliyah Boston, somebody who's been killing it on the rebounding and who's been a national champion at South Carolina, right? It's crazy to think that people negate all of this different stuff from the WNBA. I mean, Breanna Stewart, one of the best WNBA players of all time. Like I said, when she came in, she was dominant, but we're not even talking about that, right? Champion at all levels, college, the WNBA. It's crazy. I mean, we didn't even talk about Asia Wilson, who's been the dominant WNBA player. She's averaged over 20 points a game, almost 10 rebounds a game. She is absolutely a monster. Nobody can defend her. And she's just now getting her sneaker deal, a WNBA champion, a WNBA MVP, after a Caitlin Clark, right? So there is a Caitlin Clark effect. However, she is not the entire piece of the pie. And I think that that's where people need to understand. I've been at the dispenser and I've seen people walk in with Caitlin Clark jerseys. I think it's great for the game of WNBA. I think it's great for the women's game that we have people talking about the sport of basketball on the women's side. However, take a look at some of the other stuff that the WNBA has. I mean, we got Arika Ogunbowale, who hit a game winner in the national championship. How are we not talking about Arika Ogunbowale, right? And she is absolutely phenomenal. If you like Caitlin Clark step backs, you haven't seen Arika step back. And I think that's where, we have to thank Caitlin Clark in that she is bringing more eyes to the game. However, the game itself has been fire even before Caitlin Clark came in. But to say that people like Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoza, even Kate Martin, to say that these women have not had, if not more or better success than Caitlin Clark, we'd be out of our minds. Because up until just now, Caitlin Clark's team was 0 for about, 9 to start the season? But we have to give her credit, because when people said that she didn't know and how she wouldn't be able to adjust, she's now found a way to create that team cohesion to where now that Indiana Fever team is what we're talking about as one of the hotter teams in the league right now. So, the Caitlin Clark effect is real. She is worth the price of admission, but I do not like when people are out here saying that, she is the person that made the WNBA, or these WNBA players should be thanking her because she is the absolute, I think that it's getting played out now. I think that at this point, we can stop with the Caitlin Clark talk. She is good. She's good at what she does. But I think we really just have to take a sit back and just enjoy the WNBA as a whole. I never would have thought that I would tell you guys that I bought the WNBA League Pass just because I enjoy the WNBA that much. I didn't buy that because of Caitlin Clark. I bought that because I wanted to see the Minnesota Lynx. Are they as good as people are saying? That record is crazy. They're probably the biggest surprise in the WNBA. I want to see Brittany Griner, who just came back from injury on the Phoenix Mercury. I want to see Jewel Lloyd play with Nneka, what's her name? Nneka, who just traded from the Los Angeles Sparks, right? Ezzie McBair. She is tough, right? I want to see all these different matchups. Brianna Stewart with Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot, Jonquel Jones, all those girls over in New York. That's who I still got winning the chip. We didn't even talk about Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner. Oh my goodness. The list goes on. But again, if you watch the WNBA, you will see these women can ball. And I've been saying it in previous episodes. I've been saying it before. I just thank Caitlin Clark for what she's done for the game and definitely bringing in the eyes. I'm not going to take that away from her. But to sit here and say that she made the WNBA, that is the worst narrative, and you got to stop saying it, because there has been... Have you heard of Kelsey Plum? All right? Come on now. Have you heard of Chelsea Gray? Jackie Young? Come on, man. I think once you guys get a little bit more time to watch these WNBA games, you'll be as passionate about it as I am too. My girlfriend was even saying we got to go to a game soon, so I got to figure out when I'm going to make it to a Liberty game. But that about does it here for the Talk That Talk show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you all. Every single week you can catch us here on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. We are on all streaming platforms. You can actually check us out on our new and improved website at talkthattalkshow.com. Guys, we are inching closer to 30,000 downloads, and I wouldn't be there if it wasn't for you all out there. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, even on a Friday night in the summer. I love you all, and I will see you all next week.